I think we're ready. And now I'm gonna hit our intro. Well, hello there, Joy.
Well, hi, Jen. How's your day been going? How's your day been going?
Well, you know, I feel a little tired right now. That's why I had to, before we could start recording, I had to go make me some coffee. It's at 9:30 at night, and I'm brewing some coffee.
Oh, not me. I probably wouldn't be able to sleep tonight if that was me.
I know.
Give me a decaf.
Well, my kids are in around your house for hours today.
Yeah,
I feel like even though they did the running, I feel like I'm the tired one. But I'm getting over that cold, so I think I'm going to blame it on that.
Okay. All right.
Which is why we should have, we meant to do our recording this Sunday at 9 p.m. live on our YouTube channel. And I was gone. Like, I was so sick. So it was not a very fun day. Saturday and Sunday was very, very trying. So we finally made it.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, if I start coughing, I'm just going to have to unmute my mic so I don't sound like a weirdo. But I sound like myself again, mostly. But I have some bloopers I'm going to throw on to the end of the show. And in the intro to the blooper, because I meant to put out our episode, like a little taster episode, because we didn't get to record because I was sick. I was going to record all the little tidbits that we tried to do with our Anchor app. Uh-huh. And I was sewing them together, and I was going to put that on our show, just put that on our feed. And like I said, the Anchor sound was so horrible, but I cut and pasted some of the stuff, and I might just throw it at the end of this show just for the biscuits of it. I'm swapping out, because when you have kids, I'm swapping out any word that I maybe would have said for biscuits. Biscuits is just my word for everything now.
Yeah, that's kind of good, because when you got little ones, you don't want them listening to anything that they shouldn't be saying.
Exactly.
Like when their grandma says bull crap.
Yeah, in front of the pastor while the pastor's at our house visiting. And my mom, Joy, busts out bull crap. And I was like, oh, she said bull crap in front of the pastor and my 4-year-old.
This comes up immediately.
I didn't know which one was like worse. Like the 4-year-old, he'll run with it and use it at any time he knows he's not supposed to. Or the pastor be like, we're just met this guy and he's coming over. And my mom said, I think that's bull crap. And I was like, whoa, Nelly. I've worked in some pretty sketchy places, so bull crap isn't a big thing for me. But,
no, but
you could have said bull biscuits and that might have been more funny. Just swap out biscuits for everything. Son of a biscuit.
As older people, bull crap meant crap. It's just a bunch of crap.
Yeah. I think it still means that, but for some reason.
I don't care about being impolitically correct.
Impoetically?
Whatever. What is it?
Politically incorrect.
Oh, politically incorrect. Yeah, see, I don't even know that new term. So.
Oh, you're so silly. Okay, well, hey, so here we are. It's July 10th, 2018, 9:30 at night. We're rocking out our very first live stream together, but this is your first podcast live stream?
My first podcast, so I'm hoping I do good. I should be good at it. I've done other things for many, many years. So
yeah, so this is my mom, Joy, and she's only a year older than me, so figure that out. I'm kidding, but
yeah, she is my blood daughter. Don't let her fool you.
Yeah. All right, here we go. I'm teaching her the ropes on how to podcast and do Google Docs and stream and record everything live. So this is going to be a project of love, and we invite you guys to follow along with us.
So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Exactly. Anybody who has a daughter that knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I was born in 1956, so other people just like me, give your brain a chance.
Well, our next step is teaching her how to copy and paste with her mouse. So
yes,
that's on our agenda.
I'd rather
I'm
just
like,
write
did you open
down.
up the show notes? And you're like, yeah, they're in front of me. I'm like, you got your Google Docs up, and you're like, no, I printed that out a couple of days ago. I got the copy in front of me. I'm like, Girl, those notes have changed. I have added stuff you need to get into your Google Doc.
Then she tells me to go paste and copy, and I'm going like,
paste.
Not now.
She's like, no.
I have it printed in front of me.
We'll
work on that later.
It's so funny. All right, well, let's get rolling. We're going to start our shows. We're going to get going, and we're going to start our shows with, what national day is it? Do you have any idea what national day it is, Joy?
I have no idea. It changes every day, so I don't
right?
know. Yeah,
I don't even know what this one is. The July 10th, 2018, National Clarahue Day. And I do know what this next one is, National Pina Colada Day. So that you can have your virgin pina coladas if you're sworn off alcohol, and you can have your, maybe once a year. It's National Clarahue Day. Let's figure out what that is, ladies and gents. July 10th of each year celebrates National Clarahue. I hope it's nothing bad. I hope I'm not wasting everybody's time by sharing something really weird.
Clarahue?
I don't know. National Clarahue Day in the United States. Oh, it's in the Edmund Clarahue Bentley created the whimsical four-line biographical poem. An English novelist and humorist, Edmund Clarahue Bentley. He was born July 10th, 1875, and he died the year you were born, March 30th, 1956. He was a 16-year-old student when he taught up the lines for his first ever Clarahue. Sir Humphrey Davy abominated gravy. He lived in the odium of having discovered sodium. That is funny.
Oh gosh, he must have went overboard on sodium.
That is too funny. So apparently the Clarahue is something that we did not know. So now we could teach those who may have not known. And for those who know, good for you. But it's as with most poetry, the Clarahue is defined by a set of rules. It must contain 4 lines, rhyming couplets of A, double B, a person's name in the first line, say something about that person, and it should be humorous. It is meant to be a funny poem, of course. So it'd be like, Joy, the podcaster lady,
was a little shady.
Yeah, was a little shady. Was a little shadier. Like to climb trees in her skivvies or something like that.
In her skivvies.
In her skivvies. I busted out
for those that don't know what skivvies are,
underwear.
Skivvies is an old term for men's underwear, like boxer shorts.
So you were wearing men's underwear. See, that was funny.
For real.
Joy climbed up a tree. She's a little shady. She likes to wear skivvies, something like that. So anyway, that's kind of cool. I did not know that. We just celebrated it. Now we just have to use the hashtag National Clarahue Day to make it official.
So go put a pair of skivvies on the flagpole.
But make it a poem about it.
Yes, make it a poem.
The next national holiday, Pina Colada Day. It is observed annually on July 10th. A pina colada is a sweet rum-based cocktail. Along with rum, a pina colada includes cream of coconut, pineapple juice, and is usually served blended or shaken with ice. Pina colada means strained pineapple, a reference to the freshly pressed and strained pineapple juice used in the drink. There are different claims to the invention of the pina colada beginning in 1952 in San Juan, each sticking to their theory. The truth is that the pineapple and the rum have been together from the beginning of the distillation of rum. The first written reference to a pina colada was in 1922. This recipe, however, did not include coconut. What a shame. Coconut is so delicious.
Yeah.
So that is what our daily holidays are for July 10th, 2022.
Oh.
It sounds like every July 10th. I know. We learn something new every day here at Invigorate Radio.
Yes.
So now we're going to be moving into our good news section to get some more invigoration. Okay. Well, this is such good news. Have you been keeping track of the 12 boys and their soccer coach that were trapped?
Yeah, I did.
Thailand?
Yeah, and there was a SEAL, that the Special Forces SEALs.
Yeah.
I saw when one of them passed away trying to save some of the young men. young boys.
Yes, it happened.
Sad.
But today, the daring rescue mission in the treacherous confines of the flooded Thai cave saved all 12 of the boys and their soccer coach. That is absolutely amazing. They were trapped in there, and I was wondering, I have not figured out why they were in there. Like, it says that they were trapped deep within the labyrinth, so I don't know if they were just, like, exploring the caves.
Yes, they had done it. I heard it. They had done it many times, maybe 8 or 9 or 10 times before, but the waters came in so fast this time. They had been there before, is what I heard.
Okay, because I've been looking and trying to hear of, like, why they were in the cave.
Yeah, it's something they have done.
Yeah, it said that it ended after 18 days that it stretched. That is terrifying. I could not imagine being trapped in a cave overnight, let alone 18 days.
Well, before they were found, they were surviving on just the water that was seeping in on the rocks and stuff. That's
what I read, too, the stalactites. Like, it was dripping, and, they were just drinking that.
Right.
Gosh, that's crazy. And that is such a blessing that they were all 12 of them were saved. It said that it did claim the life of an experienced volunteer diver.
Yeah,
and
he
that
was a SEAL.
Former Navy SEAL. And let's see what his name. Former SEAL who volunteered to help died at 2 a.m. And what was his name? Trying to get his name. SEAL Commander Arpakran Yukong Kao told a news conference Friday morning that the rescuer was working in a volunteer capacity and died during an overnight mission in which he was placing oxygen canisters. I'm not seeing his name, but bless his heart for putting his life on the line to dive in there and save them. Right here. According to BBC News, Saman Kunan, 38, he lost consciousness on his way out of the Tham Long Cave complex.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So, but where did I lost my thing now? Oh, right here it is. 8 of the boys were rescued by a team of Thai and international divers on Sunday and today, or Sunday and Monday. And the SEAL, one of the SEALs, when they were interviewed, said that they were not sure if this is a miracle, a science, or what. All 13 wild boars are now out of the cave, and that's what the name of the boys' soccer team was. And they said that everybody is safe. Yeah, they were the wild boar soccer team, and that all the members were safe. And I definitely know that is definitely heaven sent miracle. I feel because for all 12 of the boys to survive the 18 days on water from stalactites with their coach, and then got them all out. That's impressive.
I can't imagine what the parents went through or the boys themselves thinking if this is going to be a good ending or not. They probably never suspected a great ending,
Right, and they were holding vigils and stuff, I know, at the mouth of the cave from everything that I've heard and read. So that's amazing that this was such a happy ending. Our country in the U.S., we are very wrapped up in happy endings. Like, it's very hard for us. We're very lucky and blessed in a lot of ways that, it's hard for us to fathom a non-happy ending, because not everybody has one. So this is absolutely amazing.
And we're all about positivity.
Absolutely.
News, yeah.
Yep. So
want to bring brightness to the world. Yeah.
Speaking of brightness to the world, do you remember, you just have the word joke in our show notes. Do you remember what joke you're going to share with us?
Yes, I did. My joke.
You shared this joke now. Keep it.
Well, my friend said to her husband, we need to brush up on our flirting. The next night after I crawled into bed next to him, he wrapped his large arms around me and drew a deep breath and whispered into my ear, that Vic smells good.
Oh, goodness.
Crazy joke. I love that.
You're so funny.
Did you?
Oh, goodness. You're a turkey.
I can picture those big arms around me.
The smell of Vicks.
And as you get older, we do have Vicks.
I think Theragesic or Theragesic might have a hands up on that Vicks.
Yeah.
All right. It's been pretty darn hot here in Michigan, hasn't it? It's been pretty darn hot here in Michigan.
Yes, it was
Speaking
hot.
of that Vicks and how it gets you.
Yeah, really. I think it must have been in the wintertime when that joke was going around.
It must have been, because I'm not feeling the Vicks right now, because it's been too hot.
Did you know what the hottest day in Michigan was and when?
No, Joy.
In July of 1936, there was a high of 112 degrees.
What?
Now, you can imagine it in 1936.
1936. Yikes.
Yeah, and the coldest was February 9th of 1934. And it was a low of minus 54 degrees.
Okay. So that
I can't even imagine that now. I don't.
A negative of 54 in February of 1934. What?
Yeah, 1934. Yeah, it said. And I went to watched a show on Facebook, and it said that how did they keep? I wanted to know how they kept cool in those days. And they said that they placed things like people would go to places and they would go to theaters, like, back in the day when they had the silent movies, and they just sat there and got warm, just trying to get warm. Advertised, probably stayed there all day and night, watch one silent movie after another at silent so you could go to sleep.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no kidding.
Put your little eyebrows.
I didn't even think about that aspect of it.
I didn't either till just now.
Yeah, you're like, what a great idea.
Yeah. And then you just take your little blanket with you. And so then advertised in Illinois State Journal, they said they had ice. People in the State Journal said that they were iced conditioned, meaning that's how we had air conditioned. Back then they had ice condition, where they would put big blocks of ice and set it around, and they did have small little fans because they did have electricity, but they could blow the coolness off the ice and it have like melting into a pan, like they had their
pretty much like the window air conditioners are ran pretty much like that. Yeah, like you're blowing, obviously not a block of ice, but the air is blowing over the coils that has the Freon blowing through. Right. Because if you don't keep it cleaned or if it works over hard, it can start freezing up on you, like actual ice forms on the coils, and you got to like unthaw it to get it to work again. But
yeah, but like some taverns were air cooled, probably because they had giant big air, and they might have had a vent set up so it pushed it in from the ice and the fan. But the air conditioning as we know it was still a very rarity, they said. The buckets of ice and had fans blowing on them as you spent time in the basement to escape the heat. Kids slept outside and swam in a local pool or river. They even went as far as soaking their bed sheets in cold water and hanged the bed sheets over a clothesline and then slept under those wet sheets at night. So now we treat heat like we do air conditioning, is on such as the main thing, like a furnace in the cold part of the year. So when, like nowadays we have air conditioning is just as important to us as having heat in the winter. Right. Do you remember when you guys were young kids? And I remember we having one fan and I
was making fun of it like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we had one fan, and I remember never going to sleep because I was so afraid my parents would take the fan away from us so they can have it, and then we'd sweat. I
remember we had one fan, and you like would put it halfway because my room was right with my sister's room at times before when we didn't have air conditioning yet, and it was like, here, I'm going to put one fan, and like it was going to divide the air down both sides of the room. It would be I was like, we need more than one fan.
I remember telling one of you, whoever falls asleep first is the lucky one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you guys would take a bath, put a wet cloth on your head, run, jump in bed.
So yeah,
go
not
to sleep
fun.
Cooled. Yeah,
I know. Fun. And we are so spoiled because there's so many times so far already this summer where it has reached 100 and it says, it's 99, but it feels like 106 and. Yeah. And it's that humid Everybody laughs like, yeah, in Arizona where some of our family lives, they're like, it's 110, but it's this dry heat. And like right now they're having like sandstorms and like dust storms down there. And I'm like, I don't know how I would feel about that.
Right. Dust can get into everything.
Yeah. Right.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's bad.
Yeah.
But, up here we have the humidity.
Yeah. I hate humidity, man. But, I have relatives that live in Arizona, and they said that in Phoenix, and they said that they don't care if it's humidity or hot. It's still hot.
Yeah, definitely.
So, you definitely would have to do certain things at certain times of the day, because how else could you survive?
Right, absolutely. We definitely are lucky people living in the time period that we are living in.
Well, in Michigan, yeah, because you have a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we do.
You don't have to worry about, tomorrow it might not be, it could be 78, 75, or the next day could be 100.
Right.
You can go to Florida back, no cost you no money.
Exactly. Just, they said, wait 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
The weather changes.
Right.
All right. Well, we are moving into our recommendations.
Okay.
Woohoo! I thought that little intro reminded me of you back in your old clown days.
Oh, God.
You can do a little chair dance, a little jig.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought it's so weird because you've referenced that you watched a show on Facebook, and like Facebook has kind of have you noticed that they started doing like those little videos, like little TV show videos, and they're like putting little commercials in it. They're being all sneaky. Well, I never thought the day would come where I would recommend you watch a Facebook show. I never thought that day would come.
Really?
But it's this dry bar comedy that it's like it's little snippets of it's supposedly supposed to be comedy for everyone. Like, I haven't ran across a comedy skit that's really risque or dirty, or that you couldn't like watch around your family, because it's really hard these days to find something that isn't like really dark or really gross and nasty, and you have to like make fun of people. Like, it's all really kind of funny. I haven't ran across really a bad one. Yeah. And they're like, some of them are 3 minutes, some of them are 6 minutes, some of them are 5 minutes. And it's, if you look on Facebook, it is Dry Bar Comedy, and there's just all different kinds of comedians, ones I've never heard of before, and they just do these little skits, and midway there's like a couple second commercial, and then they go back to it. But there is really some funny stuff. Like, it's everybody needs to laugh, so if you can find a good comedy, a good comedian that can make you laugh without doing a bunch of cussing and belittling like a race or a gender or whatever. And I mean, you can poke fun and stuff like that, but it's really, it's a great thing to spend a couple minutes to get a funny laugh. Like, there's one guy that just talks about baby boomers, and another guy does all of the classic kid show voices. It's just so many. It's funny. So that would be my recommendation, is to Google Dry Bar Comedy. And they might even have something like outside of Facebook, and this is the way they advertise, but I haven't really dove into it. But it says that their story is, oh yeah, cool, you can find it at drybarcomedy.com. So that's even better. If you don't have Facebook or you don't like it, you don't have to find it there. So go to drybarcomedy.com. But it says Dry Bar Comedy, stand-up comedy that's funny for everyone. And I kind of feel like it is. So,
yep,
that's my recommendation.
Oh, that's new.
It's funny because there's this dad on there, and you know how when you're a parent, they're like, you're not supposed to have favorites, not supposed to have a favorite. And
I didn't have a favorite.
No, and so this comedian, he's a dad, and I think he's a dad of like 3 or 4 girls. I think it's 3. And he's like, yeah, he's telling a little bit about each daughter, and he gets down to like the second baby, the second to the youngest, and he's like, I love my daughter, but I don't like her. Like, I know, right? He says, I love her, but I don't like her because she's smarter than me. Like, if we were friends, we wouldn't be friends. Like, I love her as my daughter, but I wouldn't be friends with her. He's joking. And
that's how I feel about my sisters.
Yes, he's so funny. Yes, right? They say, family's the friends you didn't get to pick.
Yeah.
Well, he was joking. So then he goes into saying, like, how his little girl was like, Dad, you know how to spell peripheral? Peripheral? And he said, here I'm thinking she's asking me because she doesn't know how to spell it. So I'm like, that's a tricky word. And she says, it's not tricky. And he's like, well, it's spelled Perif. It's not with an F, Daddy. It's a PH. The PH is silent. And he goes, oh.
Oh, God.
He gets all offended. Like, he's joking. Like, he gets all offended. And then he says later, he's like, we were swimming. And she's like, Daddy, help me. And he goes, what? I can't see you. You're out of my peripheral vision. Where are you? And, it was just their bad. He was just, cracking up. It's just stuff like that, things
I'll have
you
to
can
go there and
relate
check
to.
it out.
Yeah, drybarcomedy.com, or you can find it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Do you have any recommendations?
Well, I was on YouTube the other day, and I was going through these. I come across these. It said haunted mansion, old houses. Really not haunted, but they're just old houses that nobody lives in for many, many years, and they've got YouTube people, young kids go in and they videotape what it was like in the 70s, and a lot of them saw the houses are tore up, but they just go in, they find old artifacts and stuff, and it could be a house that's been sitting there for 50 years or 70 years, and they go in and they sometimes go through windows, and it's pretty interesting. It's just looking up old houses, and you find yourself just one house after another, because you actually can't go. You've ever been going down the road and you actually see an old house and you say, I bet that house has a lot to tell.
Yes.
All the stories behind this house.
I normally say, there's no way I would ever live in that house.
Yeah.
Some houses just look creepy to me.
Right, and they've got them on there on YouTube. It's old mansions, and you just put it in there, old mansions or treasure hunting match, just any kind, and they're one right after another, and it's just pretty interesting. What's funny to me is like the old stuff that these young kids find, and they must be 20, or I would say 30 and under, all the way down to like 18, 19, 21, like 29. They don't know what this stuff is, so they try to kind of guess. And I'm going, it's a bed warmer. It's a bed warmer. Talking to the TV.
So this is actually really old stuff that's in these houses.
Yeah, because
a bed warmer. I don't know the last time you were telling me that you had to put coal in the metal pan and rake it over your sheets.
Yeah, you put it.
When's the last time that has ever had to be used?
Yeah, back in the early, like the 1930s, or back when it was so darn cold outside. But you put it between your sheets, and it's hot coals in it. It's got a long stick on it, and it's like usually brass or something, and they shut it, and then they put it. It's hot, and they run it between the sheets to get the sheets warm. So when you get into bed, you've got a warm bed. And that's what they did. There's all kinds of things they find. One was an old jail that they found, a one-room old jail, and they was finding really neat stuff. Thought, well, what it is, a one-room into this one room.
You're back.
Okay. They actually put the people in this one-room jail, and it's like, okay, they didn't have any bars, they didn't have any cells or nothing. That was the jail. They had bars on the windows.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they did around back in the really old. It said it was really, really old, like 1909 or something like that, but pretty cool.
Yeah, that is neat. I was looking up here about the bed warmers. It said it was a common household item in countries with cold winters, especially in Europe, and it consisted of a metal container, usually fitted with a handle and shaped somewhat like a modern frying pan. That's how I pictured it when you're describing it.
Yeah,
it said the pan would be filled with river stones, preheated from the fireplace, and placed under the covers of the bed to warm it up and or dry it out before use. And after the invention of rubber, the classical bed warmer was largely supplanted by the hot water bottle.
Water bottle, yeah.
Yeah, which is still widely used. In the early 20th century, electric blankets and then the electric bed warmer, which was containing a lamp holder and a low wattage light bulb, were invented to fulfill the same need.
I'll be darned, I didn't know that.
There we know. Man, that's
See, I knew
half the fun.
Yeah.
Talk about stuff we didn't know, and now we know. Well, that's cool. Do you, by chance, know the name of that station or whatever?
Just look up old mansions or old houses. And it'll probably take you right to it. I can look it up next time, let you know.
Okay.
And I'll let you all know on our small segment.
I can see if we can Google it. It was like just, I guess we could find out later.
Yeah.
Or I can try to Google it if we're talking about something later. Oh, right. Well, I guess that's moving into our Did You Know intro.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Aww.
I know, right?
That's my favorite girl.
Oh, right. This is where we ask, did you know that? Because as you can tell, there's a lot of stuff going on in this world, and a lot of stuff we did not know. Yeah. Or some things we just want to share because we think it's interesting.
Right.
Like this really weird website that it came up, which could be anything really, right? A weird website. Stay away. I thought this was so weird. I can't remember where I found it. I think it's like where your phone like does the algorithms for like your searches, and it's like, you might enjoy this, or you might want to check out this website. And I actually have no idea why it suggested this for me, because it has nothing to do with me. I'm not a twin, but it's twinstrangers.net. And they're saying that across the whole world that there's somebody that looks like you.
I believe that.
I know, right? So this website, its whole existence is based around people uploading a picture of them full on and using face recognition software to compare your image against millions of profiles in their database and to get hundreds of results each time. And it's over the whole world. And it looks like they've done like, I want to say 4,294,872 lookalikes. And if you could go to the website, there's actual interviews with people who have had success in finding their twins. And it is jaw-dropping. Like, it's one thing to say, oh, there's somebody out there that looks like you. And it's another to actually see it happen and, like, watch the interviews of these people. It's really pretty fascinating. So that's at twinstrangers.net. So you can watch some of their YouTube interviews. It's pretty impressive. I don't know how much it costs. Let me look and see in their FAQ section. Let's see. How long does it take? It says, is there anything I can do to speed up the process? Here it says, using twinstrangers.com is one of the best and quickest ways to find your twin stranger. With thousands of registering every week, you have the best chance to find them here. We have had countless matches on Twin Stranger to date. Check out our Facebook page to see the latest Twin Stranger pairings. But it doesn't give you actually time, and I don't know. What if they don't want to talk with me? It says, sometimes some twin strangers are happy to just see a photo of you. This makes us sad too. Don't worry though. It said we've 7 twin strangers alive in the world. So hopefully there is one out there that would like to connect.
I don't know.
So funny. They're like, don't worry. If one out of the 7 twin strangers of people that look just like you don't want to talk to you, there's 6 more that just might want to talk to you.
Yeah.
So silly.
So it's twinstrangers.net.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And here it says using twinstrangers.com. So that's interesting.
Go to either one and see what you get.
Yeah, because the one I found that was suggested to me was twinstrangers.net. Let me go to .com and see if it's this. If they may have just purchased the .net and .com domains when they started up their business.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to Twin Strangers. Yep, that's what they did. It's the exact same thing. Same exact. Okay. Yep, they just bought both domains.
Well, let us know if you find your twin out there.
Yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah, let us know what becomes of that. It's pretty interesting to see what happens. Don't feel free to let us know. We'll make sure that you get on ours.
You can just email us and let us know at invigorate@gmail.com. It sounds like Joy's pretty intrigued by this.
Yeah, I would be. Well, I did see my husband's twin.
Yeah, that's right. You did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe is this something that you would do? Upload your picture and see if anybody.
Heck no.
You mean biscuits? No.
Nope. I don't care to know.
I don't know either. Really, I ain't got. Nobody got time for that.
I like who I am. I don't need another one of me.
You don't need another one.
I just find myself competing, and I'm not a follower. So.
Oh goodness. Well, speaking of following, fruit flies do a lot of following.
Yes, they do. They follow fruit all over the place. But did you know that I'm gonna teach you today a little bit about fruit flies? And did you know that they hatch in 40 to 50 days, and they mate and lay about several batches of eggs at a time? So if you're ever wondering, where is all these stinking fruit flies coming from in my kitchen? And someone told me sometimes they go down the drain, and I never saw that. I usually, whenever I clean my drains once, twice a month, and I put apple cider or vinegar down it and put some, first I put in the baking soda, and then I put in the apple cider vinegar, and then we have like a little volcano, and I let it sit there, and it cleans up all the smells and stuff. But anyway, the fruit fly, usually, they always are, they're just a pest. And they grow in your home very fast, and the lifespan of them is influenced by the temperature that's in your home. And how do you get rid of them? Well, there's one sure way. You take a little piece of banana that's kind of yucky, your ripe banana, and put it in a cup, preferably a throwaway cup, and put some cellophane over the top of it, and then put little dots in the front and the top of it so that the fruit fly can get into it. And then, you put a rubber band around it too, so that it won't stay. Or you can use that, what do you call that stuff you use, that sticky stuff?
I love the press and seal.
Yeah, the press and seal. Yeah, that would work great. Put some little dots in there, like with the end of a pencil lead. And so the fruit fly can get in. And once it gets in there to get that, you catch them. And they can't figure out how to get back out.
Yeah, I've used the apple cider vinegar actually in a little jar with that press and seal, and then I just took like a sewing needle and poked a couple holes. Sometimes I had to spread it out a little bit to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah,
right. So you can get in it, and
it works amazing.
And you can use. It says you can use apple cider vinegar and a few drops of dish soap.
Never done the dish soap, but
dish soap probably has got foam in it, and it kind of like gets their wings all wet, and they kind of like drown. But they said that the piece of banana really collects them. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty informative. That was from Orkin on Facebook.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That is pretty handy. I hate those things. They're so frustrating. I will take fruit flies though over the June bugs and the Japanese beetles and any other crickets. Flying beetle. I say crickets, they don't fly. No, if the crickets flew,
if the crickets land on me,
yes, not feeling it, not liking the.
I do. One time I used to raise birds. Remember when you was a kid and I raised birds, and I had this blue jay on the back porch, and it was all screened in. And little kids down the road, I'd give them a popsicle for 10 grasshoppers. And I don't know what it is. I love grasshoppers, but I can't stand a cricket. I think it's because of the big things that comes out the butt. Those
the big things that come out the butt.
Those little whiskers-like things.
The cricket poopy. I don't like the cricket poopy. No.
No. Well, anyway, so I'm feeding the blue jay, and I had a rabbit cage down in back of me. And I had another bird in it that I was raising at the time, and I moved backwards, and this cricket jumped on my leg, and I just about fell backwards into that darn cage,
goodness!
And about smooshed it all to pieces. My daughter was just laughing. Yeah, them crickets. And I love Jiminy Crickets on Disney shows when I was a little girl. I don't understand. Why did they say it was Jiminy Cricket when he was green? He was actually a grasshopper.
I have no idea. Unless there's green crickets. Let's Google that right now.
Yeah. The black cricket, I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't like them guys. And they never shut up either when you're trying to sleep. If you got one and you're like, say you go camping and you go, forget. You count how many times in between. 1, 2, 3, cricket. Jeez, drives you nuts.
Uh-huh.
Then you got to get up and find that little derelict. I'm going to touch him. I'm not touching him. You get a towel.
It says Jiminy Cricket is a Walt Disney version of the talking cricket, which was Italian the second Grillo Parlante, a fictional character created by Carlo Collodi for his children's book, The Adventures of Pinocchio, which Disney adapted into the animated film Pinocchio in 1940. I was trying to... and this person's Googled, is Jiminy Cricket a grasshopper or a cricket? Artistic license is well and good, but the Disney character Jiminy Cricket really annoys me. Someone posted, not enough legs or a present hidden under his clothes, and if he has an insect, clearly he's a grasshopper. So it looks like you're not the only person who is not understanding this, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
It doesn't make sense, no. Of course, a lot of them old theories don't make sense.
Right. Yeah, this person said... this person made a whole blog post that's on somebody's blog called simonleather.wordpress.com. Yeah. 5 years ago. So he was a little angry. Not Jiminy Cricket, but Gregory Grasshopper. Someone ought to tell Walt. They were just as irritated with that. Well, that was crazy. All right. Well, go ahead. Go for it.
I was going to tell you one more other little thing I wanted to tell you was it says also to keep dirty dishes clean and out of your sink, because stuff like that can attract your fruit flies. Okay?
All right. Well, here's my last Did You Know, because I did not know this and it came across my feed, and I'm finding this information at nationalgeographic.com. And it was titled, How Was Ketchup Invented? How was ketchup invented? And I know, because we just kind of take it for granted that it's on like every table when we go to a restaurant. It's on every table.
It's invented with tomatoes and probably Roma tomatoes.
Romaine?
Yeah.
No, wait, that's Roman. Romaine. That's Roma. You and I, we should not podcast at 10 p.m. at night. We should not. We're like, we will make up our own words, everybody, so get over it. Get used to it and get over it.
Yeah.
All right. It says, even the most barren of refrigerators has a lingering bottle that clatters with the whoosh of the open door. It is the hero of American condiments, ketchup. In the U.S., 97% of households report having a bottle at the table. But we all want to know, how did it come to be? It turns out that ketchup's origins are anything but American. Ketchup actually comes from Hokkien Chinese, from the Hokkien Chinese word ket. Oh, you're scraping something at your house.
Nope.
Something is making a really loud noise.
It is my air conditioner.
Yeah, it's really loud.
Let me go turn it off.
Or just don't hold your button down while I'm...
Okay.
Oh, it seems okay right now, but it sounded like a big truck was going by.
Okay.
Oh, right. It says it comes from the Hokkien Chinese word ketchup. It's spelled K-E-T-S-I-A-P, apparently, in Chinese. The name of the sauce derived from fermented fish. It is believed that traders brought fish sauce from Vietnam to southeastern China. The British likely encountered the ketchup in Southeast Asia, returned home, and tried to replicate the fermented dark sauce. And this probably happened in the late 17th, early 18th century, as evidenced by a recipe that was published in 1732 for ketchup in paste by
really?
Richard Bradley. Yeah.
Wow.
Says which referenced Bencoolen in the East Indies as its origin. And it says that it was certainly not the ketchup that we recognize today. Most British recipes called for ingredients like mushrooms, walnuts, oysters, anchovies, and in an effort to reproduce the savory taste first encountered in Asia, because with that fishy taste that they were used to. It says mushroom ketchup was even a purported favorite of Jane Austen. And it said these early ketchups were mostly thin and dark and were added to soups, sauces, meat, and fish. And at this point, ketchup lacked one very important ingredient. Dun da da da!
Wow.
The tomato. The first known published tomato ketchup recipe appeared in 1812.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Probably Heinz.
It says it was written by scientist and horticulturist James Meese, who referred to tomatoes as love apples. Oh, he's an interesting
Did you know that a tomato is actually a fruit?
Yes. Yep, I did know that. Yep. Okay. The Veggie Tales taught me that. I think Bob refers to himself as a fruit or something.
Veggie Tales.
Hey, you get your info. You got to get your facts where you can get your facts.
That's right.
And I want to say I found out that way. At least that's my most memorable way to find out that a tomato is a fruit. As a Bob from Veggie Tales.
Yeah.
Yeah, but James Meese referred to tomatoes as love apples. Oh, that cracks me up. That is so funny.
You get a heart and put a bunch of those little tomatoes in it.
So funny. Which is ironic because people you would always saw where people threw tomatoes at like bad performances on stage. So it's kind of ironic that they're throwing love apples to be jerks. How did that? Very ironic. Very ironic. Really. It says his recipe contained tomato pulp, spices, and brandy, but lacked vinegar and sugar. And it says ketchup's success was due in part because it could be kept for up to a year, and all the Okay, here's where we get to the guy you were talking about. And now I hear me all of a sudden coming out of your thing.
I don't know why.
Well, you gotta let your finger off the alt button. New podcaster here. It's new podcaster joy. We gotta get through these little growing pains. It's okay. It's okay, Joe.
Thank you.
We'll get it. All right. Okay, it says, here's where the Mr. Heinz comes into the picture. It says before I have to read this whole thing, there's some dude named Wiley partnered with a Pittsburgh man named Henry J. Heinz, who had started producing ketchup in 1876. Heinz also was convinced American consumers did not want chemicals in their ketchup. And in answer to the benzoate controversy, Heinz developed a recipe that used ripe red tomatoes, which have more of the natural preservative called pectin than the scraps of the others that the other manufacturers used. So Heinz began producing preservative-free ketchup and soon dominated the market. And in 1905, the company had sold 5 million bottles of ketchup. But I think it's time to say goodbye to everybody. So go ahead.
All right. We'll see you next time in a brand new cartoon.
So thank you, the one person who's watching us right now on YouTube Live. Thank you. And we will figure out what day. We wanted to do Sunday nights, but now Joy wants to do Sunday dinners. So I don't know if we'll feel up to recording on Sunday nights. So maybe we'll record like Monday nights.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we'll try doing our Monday live recording on our YouTube channel. And you can find a link to that. That will take you to our podcast hosting site. We are now available on 9 different platforms, so find yours. We should be hitting iTunes pretty darn soon. So let me see where we are actually at. It shows me. So you go to invigorateradio.com, and we are on the Anchor app. And you can leave us voicemail messages there. So if you want to download Anchor to your phone, you just search up Invigorate Radio, and you can leave us a voicemail, and we can play it on the show. And you can also join our live streams every week and join in the conversation. So we have our chat room. And then we're also on Google Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Radio Public, Spotify, and Stitcher right now, and we're waiting to get approved for Apple Podcasts. So we are moving on up. So thank you everybody for listening, and you can grow with us and Joy. Learning all
I'm
our
here.
little. Oh, now I'm not playing back, so that's so crazy.
I put in the plug.
Yay! So check that out. That's awesome. So Now don't breathe into the mic. Don't be that heavy breather. That breathes into the microphone.
Okay, honey, I hear you. Right.
It sounds like this.
Okay. Okay.
Joy, you are my mother. Joy.
Are you going to cut this?
No, I'm leaving it in.
Are you?
I'm a lazy podcaster. I don't edit.
All right. Well, then you'll see the ups and downs of all this first one.
Yes, we want to inspire new podcasters. You can do this too.
That's right.
Go. You got to hit that button, chick. Okay, there you go. Joey likes to pant into the microphone. So we're going to...
Sorry.
No, you're fine. It's so funny. So, yeah, I lost track. Anyways, bye.
Bye, everyone. See you next time in a brand new cartoon.
Oh, gosh. Oh, hi there. Here's some bloopers from earlier this week.
Hey.
Hello there.
Joy. How's it going?
Hi. I'm doing well. How are you doing, Jen?
Just trying out this conference call option.
Yes.
This is our trial. So do you have any information? What have you been learning today? What do we want to share with our listeners?
Oh, let's see. That not always you might have fleas in your house, but could be a fly.
Well, I have no idea why you're saying this.
The reason why is because my friend came over and she was sitting. She goes, "You got fleas in your house?" I said, "No." And then we figured out when it landed
sure
on.
I didn't sit down and go, "You got fleas in your house."
You go, I said, "No, it's a fly. Look, on my leg." And then I killed it. And then I killed it. Smack.
No, that's your
Anyway.
funny version. But the long version is I'm sitting down, setting up our podcast, and I kept feeling something on my foot, and I looked down and it'd be gone. There's something's on my foot. I looked down and it'd be gone. There's something's on my foot, and I saw a little black thing, and then it was gone. So then I thought, well, this is weird. Then I hopped on the other foot, and I'm like, do you have fleas or something? Like, what? Why do I keep feeling things on my feet? And when I looked down, it's gone. And then it ended up being a fly. So
on my leg, and then it was dead.
yeah, I didn't just roll up in your house. Hey, you got fleas? Speaking of bugs, remember the latest thing I figured out was that there's a certain brand, not the generic kind of earwig, but no, there's a subspecies or a species of earwigs that have wings. My life ended the day I found this out. Like my view of the world drastically changed when I found out the earwigs could fly.
Yeah, but I never knew that.
Ridiculous. I just feel like we have been bamboozled with this whole earwig. They're so creepy. For those who don't know, they're like those little red ant-looking things, but with pinchers, and they do pinch, like fly and land on my shirt. And I was like, and then my brain went and exploded.
Well, I do know in the old days, around the turn of the century, and on Little House on the Prairie, the reason they wore those little bonnets to bed and covered their ears up, because that's why it's called an earwig, and it will climb into your ear.
I thought there was an old wives' tale. They said they don't really climb into your ear now.
But I bet they would if they could. Not very many people have earwigs in their bed nowadays, but back in the day, yeah, anything could. I mean, even as a child, you got to be in your ear.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. That was an unfortunate thing. The thing I learned about that is you need to actually, when your mom says, "Help me carrying groceries," you should probably listen to her, because had I listened to you, I would have never got the bee stuck in my ear. Oh, is that you, Joy?
Yes, it is. How you doing today?
It's pretty warm outside. Pretty warm.
Yes, it is.
2018, our chat session. Got some funny stuff coming across our feeds. My feed, because I see it like on, like, I don't know, you probably don't look at your smartphone very much, but it has, it suggests stories and stuff to you. And then I found a couple interesting things to share with you.
Oh, good. I love it when you share with people.
So how have you been?
Time to learn some things, everybody.
You learned some stuff?
Yes, and go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it's July 5th, and do you know what national holidays it is today? I don't even know if you can call them holiday, but there's some national days.
Every day. Now, I heard one day last week was National Waffle Day. I didn't know there was one of them. But
Well, did you know that today is National Bikini Day, National Apple Turnover Day, which I don't really see how those things go hand in hand.
I do. I love apple
turnovers and then hop in a bikini. It just seems so
or put a bikini on a baby bikini on apple turnover. I don't know. You can see the future. I can tell the future when I do that. Your body will look like an apple turnover.
You're so weird. You tell jokes that only you are laughing at. I'm like, I don't know.
That's the way it goes.
If you put a bikini on an apple turnover, you could tell the future. That's all I got out of your statement. I don't know.
Right. Because I'm in my own little world and everyone knows me there.
Okay. Well, it's also National Hawaii Day and National Graham Cracker Day. That's
365 days a year. They sure jam all these into one day, huh?
I know, right? It's National Bikini Day. Started in 1946. And it says how you observe. You would think to just wear your bikini, but apparently they want you to use the hashtag National Bikini Day. I think
Can you
there's enough of those things on Instagram.
Imagine what a bikini looked like in 1946.
Probably wouldn't look like a bikini at all, honestly.
No, it probably looked like a the cute little sunsy dress for a baby.
Yeah, and everybody probably looked like
Little bloomer.
an apple turnover.
Yeah.
I saw a joke. I saw a little picture on Facebook. It said, what I think I look like in my bikini, and then it was like what I really look like, and it was like a tube of Pillsbury biscuits with a bathing suit on.
The Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yes, exactly. Pillsbury dough.
Yeah.
That's
Talking about yesterday with July 4th, it sure was hot, I'm telling you. I don't know where y'all are from, but it's hot.
We always turn southern when we podcast.
I have no idea why. It's just, I have no idea.
Turn southern. You start talking like y'all.
I don't know why. I'm very versatile, aren't I?
I guess. Like, where is the southern drawl coming from? You're like, I put bikinis on my turnovers and turn southern when we podcast.
Listen to this joke. What do you get when you cross a dinosaur with fireworks? Dynamite!
Oh my gosh.
What did the duck say? Why did the duck say bang? Because he was a firecracker.
You're silly.
I know it. Oh gosh.